Dave from BeHealing.com. Welcome to Psychic Cafe. Friday, woo! It's the weekend. Well, almost anyway. I've just got to get through today. And then it's the weekend. How are you all? Are you good? I hope so. Ooh, that's a bit loud. Oh, 25% off? Oh, just those ones. Anyway, distracted by emails. This morning, I will be giving a reading for Twin Flames, also giving mini reads as well. If you want a mini read, check out that pinned comment in the live chat. Tells you how to get one. It's cool in here today, so my fingernails are purple, but my thumbnails have started going pink, so my thumbs are warmer than the rest of my fingers. It's the nail gel that changes colour. I really like it. It's fun. Anyway, mini reads. Somebody's booked in already. Let's see. It's Nikki. Hello, Nikki. Hey, Maria. Nikki asks, does my higher self recommend Bristol? Hey, Barbara. Yeah, if anyone else wants a mini read, you can book in now at any time while I'm live. Do that for you. The pre-booked ones get done at the start like Nikki did. Don't know if Nikki's here live. Are you here live, Nikki, or just watching the replay? Bristol. Yes. It's a yes to Bristol. Excuse me a moment while I wipe your face. Let's find out more about Bristol. So Nikki's on the move again, hey. Is Bristol a rainy place? Didn't you guys say something about rain? I don't know. Anyway. Oh, sabotage allow. You wouldn't go there before for some reason, Nikki, and now you're allowing it. It's something like that. It's like you had a block to it and then you're getting over it and now you're allowing it. You see, isn't this funny? It's like we ask, don't we, where's best for me? And then our guides tell us where's best for you, or kind of around that subject, because they're never that clear with me. And then we let go a bit of our resistance about a place, and then it's a yes to that place. You are on track. Cool. You're on track. Yeah, it's going to be fun there. Bristol's. Go for it. Hey, Mandy. Hey, David. Pennsylvania. I imagine that you're all vampires there. Why? Because it sounds like Transylvania. So there you go, Nikki. It's a yes to Bristol. Cool. So I thought I'd get this deck out today, just for a little bit of a change. And that's all of the mini reads, by the way, that have been booked in pre. So if you want a mini read, if you've got a question for your higher self, and it can be about anything, it can be about moving to Bristol, it can be about relationships, it can be about someone else, it can be about career, anything you want. But in the meantime, I'm going to be pulling some cards to see what's going on for Twin Flames. Hey, Shelley. Oh, we've got another mini reading. Let's do that before I even start. And it's from Karen. Hey, Karen. In Queensland. Hello, Karen in Queensland. Karen asks, how long will it take for all this upheaval in my life to calm down again? Oh. You see, you're not going to get a date on that. You know why? Like I just said with Nikki's reading. Because things change when we change our energy. When we're in resistance, it's never going to change, right? So I'd rather tell you how you can change it. Because we can. We can change it, Karen. Because the date is just going to be vague. That's why in the pick a card reads, it's like, you've got to take the dates with a pinch of salt, the timelines that I do on that, because it depends on you. It depends on you and the changes that you make. We can see things from a different perspective, and that can change everything. Honestly, I can do like readings like Nikki's. So she probably is perhaps 2 weeks ago, I think, our last reading, like a full reading, I think it was, or a mini, I can't remember. And when asking her guides about where next for her, it was kind of a different story. So obviously Nikki's been thinking about it and released some resistance there with those cards coming out. Anyway, Karen. upheaval in your life. I'm sorry to hear that, but here you go. This is what you need to hear about it. So it will change when you surrender, when you let it go. Right, so there's this feeling like you're holding on and trying to remain in control of things. And that's a resistant position, right? It is a resistant position. What I mean by that is when we're in the flow, we will like wake up in a happy state and then we kind of go with the flow, you know. That's not a resistant state. We're not trying to be in control, and a lot of good things can happen. Whenever we're rigid and we're resistant and we try and control everything and we're holding on, it's a defense mechanism. It's because the upheaval happens, right? And we're trying to hold on and we're in this anxious state, and it's like full on. I understand it. Our nervous systems do that to us. But we need to tell ourselves in that instance to calm down and to relax again. From that relaxed place, that's when we can get back in the flow. Yikes. Gambled away thousands. That's heavy, Karen. I'm sorry to hear about that. But you've got to let it go. It's so hard to do, especially when it's about money, and it's like it really hits our survival button, the money thing of it. I don't know whether you've heard me talk about this before, Karen, but I was in debt. My credit card was maxed out. Not a massive amount. I mean, 8,000. But I know, some people will get themselves into massive debt, and I didn't do that. But that was a lot for me. I'm the kind of person that pays off my credit card even before the due date. I pay it off. If I use my credit card, I'll like transfer the money from my bank account straight away onto it. I'm that kind of person. And yet I had run up this debt, and it was really stressing me out, so much so that I couldn't even run my business properly because I was just in panic. Like, I need to get more money. And so I was doing stupid stuff or unable to do anything decent, in my business. Because you just can't, right? You can't make good decisions when you're in that state. And so I get it. I really get it. But what I did then was I realized, and this is the way it happened. I was stressed out about paying my rent for this place. And I went to the office, finally kind of faced up to it and went to the office, and I said to them, sorry, I haven't paid yet, but I will do soon, as soon as I can. They said, oh, don't worry about it. We didn't even notice. There I had been stressing myself out, right, about this. Thinking that, like paranoid, thinking that every time that they saw me, they were like, oh my God, she's not paid. We're about to throw her out. I was making up all these stories because of the way I was feeling about myself, right? I was stressed out. And that made me realize, look, they're easygoing and they got me here. I'm loved by these people. And I'm like, I am stressing myself out about this. It's me doing it to me. And my well-being is way more important than the money. And when I realized that, I'm like, you know what, I'm not even going to struggle. I'm not even going to try and work. What I'm going to go and do is go and sit by the pool in the sunshine or in the pool and watch the birds and the butterflies and just calm down, because I'm stressing myself out when no one else is bothered about this at all. I'm imagining that the situation is worse than it is because people around here have got me. They're not like, oh, Claire, you should be looking at, not like my family would be. Oh, Claire, you should be looking after yourself and make it worse on me. That's not what people do around here. And so I'm like, I'm good. I don't need to panic about this. And I got in the pool and I just relaxed. And I spent a couple of days doing that, just like I was on holiday. Because I can be here, right? If I'm not thinking about all the things that I need to do and the money I need to make. Just relax. And from that, I calmed down a lot. And then from that was the letting go, the surrender. And then from that place, just started having ideas, like positive ideas for my business. Not like, oh shit, I better make some money ideas, but some just positive ideas. Oh, I feel like doing that, like making that video, and then I'd do that. And then I got back into the flow. And then at that point, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to pay half of everything that comes in off my credit card. And I kept on doing that until it, I'm not saying that's the way out for you, but this first bit is for sure. The surrender bit is for sure. You're having seizures, and so you can't hold a job. Right, okay. So, you've got a situation going on that says it's going to transform when you surrender. That's the first thing. And you know, you've got to take care of yourself, Karen. You've got to take care of yourself first of all, first and foremost. And from that calm place, you'll be able to make better decisions for yourself. Now, I know with marriage we are probably, and I think in most places, you're in it together kind of thing when it comes to finances. Their debt is your debt kind of thing. But what you've got here, but I think from that calm place, you'll be able to, you need to protect yourself more than anything, right? Because for me, I think what seems right to me is that we all have individual responsibility for the choices that we make and the things that have gone wrong. And in saying that, what your husband has done is not yours. It's not yours to rectify, and it's not your fault. But I get kind of laws about marriage and you're responsible for your partner's stuff, which I don't really believe. Anyway, you've got fulfillment and connection here. So this partnership, fulfillment, I think from this calm place, you'll need to ask yourself, what is this partnership fulfilling for you? Is it fulfilling you? There's a lesson in this for you about independence and about responsibility, Karen. And it's not about like breaking up or anything like that. It could be, but it's not. That's not what I'm saying. But there needs to be what do you call it? When you tell someone that they've got to take responsibility for it, that thing. It's that. This is not for you to get a job and work your way out of. You don't need to pick up the pieces here. Your husband needs to do that. His responsibility. And from a calm place, so you just take care of you for now and get yourself into that surrender mode. You will see a way out and you'll do it yourself. And I don't know what that solution will be, but you'll know it. You'll know what's right for you then. But yeah, with these cards coming out, fulfillment and connection, there's something that needs to change in that relationship. He wants to break up. Yeah. Well, do what I said. Start taking care of yourself and get yourself to that calm place. That's going to help your seizures out as well, right? I used to work with neurotherapy with people with epilepsy, and I know, stress, big trigger for seizures. So take care of yourself, Karen, first. Get yourself into a calm place. Do whatever that takes, go to friends' houses, whatever you need to do to take care of yourself. Go and sit in a pool like I did. And in a few days of doing that, you'll get some clarity. Hope that helped you out. Okay, so let's get some cards out for the twin flames then. With this dreaming Llewllyn Norman. So I'm going to do a cross, I think. I don't know. Let's see how the cards come out. I don't remember how I used to use these cards. I think I used to get like 3 out. We've got a ring. Commitment. Letter. All of those things are up to you, Karen. You're going to have to get yourself to that surrender state first. You'll be able to make your decisions for yourself. I do feel like you'll get a lot of clarity once you do get to that calm place. And I know how difficult it is to allow ourselves to do that, but really your well-being is way more important than anything of this stuff that's going on. That was massive for me when I realized my well-being is way more important. I was listening to a podcast. I think it was a podcast this morning. I woke up really early and I didn't feel like going for a walk on the beach this morning because I had a mega workout yesterday and my arms are just like, ugh. And So interesting information that I didn't know about recovery and sleep. Specifically, sleep. We can go to sleep when the adenosine builds up. So the adenosine is like the hormone that builds up in our brain throughout the day. And when it builds up enough, it's like you've been awake long enough kind of thing. That's when we're triggered to go to sleep. But if you're in a stressed state, you've got a lot of cortisol. Once that adenosine, once you've gone to sleep and the adenosine gets to a lower enough point where your body goes, right, you can be awake now, your cortisol will wake you up. So when we're stressed out, that's when we wake up in the night too early and we don't go back to sleep. And I'm like, oh, I didn't realize that was what was going on. So it's not a problem. When we're stressed out, it's generally not a problem in falling asleep. But there's a problem in staying asleep. And I've seen that myself. And sleep is so important. This guy was also saying that you see presidents and prime ministers of countries, how fast they age once they're in office. It's because their job is so stressful and that they don't sleep properly. And they age massively in that job. It is, it's so interesting. Hey, Robin. Yeah, and he also said, you know, if we all got like perfect sleep, we wouldn't age. We wouldn't age at all, because sleep is undoing all the stuff. It sounds like it's anabolic. Sleep is anabolic, and when you're awake, you're catabolic. Meaning catabolic is when you're breaking down. You know, catabolic specifically to do with muscle is about the body using the muscle, eating the muscle to be able to kind of repair other things along the way. And anabolic is when you repair and you build muscle. I never looked at it that way before, but it's fascinating. And it just shows, right? It's like we really harm ourselves when we're stressed out. And we've just got to do as much as we can to restore that. And he was talking about breath work, box breathing and all of that kind of thing. He was also talking about healing as well. He was doing a lot of work with Navy SEALs, people with massive amounts of trauma. And I'm dealing with people with massive amounts of trauma as well, but not because we've been in the army, because we've been around shitty people generally and have been abused and all that kind of thing. And he was saying that contradictory to what is coming out lately about drugs, the kind of drugs, you know, like psilocybin and what do you call them? Like where you'll have a trip. For post-traumatic stress disorder is like they're making too much of it, because all it does is gives you a window to heal yourself. It's like it gives you 6 months after that where it kind of dampens down the post-traumatic stress disorder so that you've got some clarity to be able to heal properly. So you need to do the work then. And if you're not doing the work, well, you're just going to have to do another trip again, and then you're just going to stay in this stasis. And it's like, and he said that most people will need that kind of drug to be able to get to that calm place to even start healing. Because very few people will get themselves there themselves. And I'm like, I got myself there myself. And I did. And it was through things like self-love and realizing I need to take care of myself. And, you know, that involves like breath work and all of that kind of thing, calming yourself down. And that's what I was doing when I was in the pool. Yeah, calming myself down and breath work and watching the animals and just, you know, bringing myself down from that. And it's from that clear place that we can do the healing. And he was talking about the healing is like seeing things from a different perspective. Exactly the same, you see, as I just said to Karen. Same but different, but not much different. Anyway, what have we got here about twin flames? Hey Angie, if anyone wants to book in for one of those mini reads, here's the link for it. So we've got ring, we've got letter, and we've got fox. Let's see what these cards are about. The ring is about commitment. So why have we got commitment on the table? Oh God. We've got cross and coffin. Doesn't look good, does it? Doesn't look good. Well, the cross about burdens, the crosses that we bury, the burdens that we carry. The Barry? Who's Barry? The crosses that we carry, those burdens that we carry, and coffin. Coffin is like either ending something, or it's like the death card is. It's like the end and a new beginning kind of thing. So, someone has found commitment burdensome. Raise your hands, ladies. It's one of the reasons that I'm like quite happy being single, really. I would like to have like someone to go out with on the weekend, someone to hang out with sometime, but I don't want the burdens of someone, because I have found that men are still kind of old-fashioned in that way. Rather than being a partnership, they want to be looked after by the woman. But when the woman's got a business and she's doing everything else, she wants a partner, and she doesn't want a child to look after, kind of thing, you know. Fair enough if he's doing all, you know, if he's the one that's working and all of that kind of thing. But boyfriends are not that. They're not the ones taking care of us, and they shouldn't expect us to look after them like a mum, right? But there is still that expectation from men, like, you're the woman, you take care of me, and something needs to change, is what this is saying. I would say probably we're talking about divine feminine here being more resistant to commitment, even though that's what she's looking for, because of what she's experienced already and the burdens that comes with that. Then we've got a letter, which is about communication, of course, from the man. The man who's looking, we'll find out what he's looking at soon. Communication about bouquet. Bouquet is a love offer. Okay, so we've got an incoming love offer, which might press our, oh, here's another one that just wants stuff from you and wants you to take care of them button. Fox, need to be cunning, need to think about it, have a strategy. Mice, so that they can't take from you. Needing a strategy, right? So it doesn't mean that we can't get into a relationship when we feel these burdens. It means that we can get into a relationship, but we've got to be super careful not to get into those patterns again. So when they ask you to take care of them, like there's going to be a bit of give and take, of course. You want to kind of take care of someone and do nice things for them when you're in a relationship, but you've got to be super vigilant, really, about that. Slipping into those patterns where you start, it's like, come round, I'll cook for you, and it's like, oh, now you're here every night and I'm cooking for you, that kind of thing, you know. I don't believe it was that card. There you go, it's that card. Stalk. Stalk is what? Is it? I'm just thinking babies. I need to check out what stalk is about. Birth, yeah. The arrival of an important development. Though the stalk traditionally symbolises the birth of an actual baby, it can also signify the arrival of major changes in other areas of your life. These changes are usually positive ones that result from a long, laborious period of careful planning rather than mere luck. Fox, planning. That's having a strategy, right? It's all very well for us to say, oh, we want men to change and all of this kind of thing, and need a partnership because we've got equal responsibilities now. We both need to be doing all of the things. But if then you'll get into a relationship and you'll just do it anyway, well, that means that you need to change too, right? That means that we need to change. And to be able to change, because we'll just get in autopilot and do it what we usually did again, we need to have a strategy, and we need to hold ourselves to that and remain conscious of it. Stalk cards symbolise productivity and movement forward toward tangible results. I know I have done this myself, you know. I've realised, like, oops, I'm taking care of them, I'm providing everything, I'm becoming mum, and, you know, suddenly be busy and not be cooking for them anymore. Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. I've already done that in the last few years in relationships. 3-4 years. The migratory bird also signifies the beginning of a new season and transformation. This card may also represent reliable people in your life who bring assistance and gifts, represented by the eggs. The Store card communicates to you that you're receiving what you desire and what you deserve. Yay! Improvements, results. The man is looking at, oh no. What's he looking at? He's looking at what he can take. So, it's not necessarily like what I can steal from this woman. It's not that. The man is looking at the woman because she's a good prospect. She's a catch. She's got plenty to offer. Now, we should be doing that too, looking for a catch, looking for someone that's got plenty to offer. But then we're like, oh no, I don't want to be a gold digger though. And then we pick up these waste of spaces that don't have anything to offer. And they're just looking at like, yeah, the woman has a lot to offer. That's why you've got to be careful, right? There's nothing wrong with them looking for what's on offer. We all should be doing that. Especially women. But to then slip into the pattern of overgiving and taking care of them and then start complaining that they're not stepping up, and then perhaps to take it to the point of, why do I keep on choosing these ones that are just kind of seemingly looking for what they can take from me? But that's not the way it is. That's not the way it is at all. Perhaps we need to learn something from them and what it is that they're looking for. I know I'm seeing it a lot clearer in my own life now. Is like, I know I'm a catch. And I'm, I think, a pretty good judge of character now, and see around me who has got something to offer and who hasn't, and a lot don't. Not around here anyway. I imagine it'd be quite different if I lived in a city or something, but you're never going to find me in Bangkok, that's for sure. I went to the hospital yesterday morning because I wanted to do a skin cancer check because I was a bit worried about my hands here. And the doctor said, I can't do a skin cancer check, but he said, that's not skin cancer. I said, that's a reaction to stuff that you've got your hands in. And I'm like, I am very sensitive. So now I'm using like a moisturizer. Every time I'm putting a moisturizer, it's like a facial moisturizer, but in a big container. What do you call that stuff? Anyway. He said I can use hydrocortisone, but I don't really want to make my skin on my hands even thinner. But I decided I do want to go anyway to put my mind at rest, to get skin cancer checks regularly, maybe once a year or something like that. So I was doing a bit of research into it yesterday. And of course I can go to Bangkok, but I don't like Bangkok. I always want to get out of there as fast as I can. And there is actually a hospital on Koh Samui that will do it. So I'll go next time I'm at my dentist. But that was quite stressful. It was quite something for me to face up to that worries about the skin on my hand. Like I've got these things now that I wear when I'm on my bike. It's like sun protection sleeves. It goes across your shoulders and down the arms, and thumbs go through it. I wear those now when I'm riding my bike, because riding a bicycle, the sun is getting there, and it's by far the most sun damage is on my hands. But of course, my hands are also in the washing up liquid, and there's things too that irritate my skin. I get rashes, and I'm very sensitive. Let's get some cards out. Enough about me. Chicken Cat is in the clinic at the moment. She's still in the clinic. So she's been 2 overnights at the moment. I don't know whether she's coming home today or what. I'll go and check up on her this afternoon. 9 of Swords. Anxiety. Needing a strategy. Anxious about something. What makes you anxious about getting into a relationship again? It's anxious about ourselves and what we might, and old patterns or something repeating. And the something repeating is what we do, right? So needing a strategy again. So this is saying, okay, your strategy, I know what kind of mine is, but what's your strategy? You need to address what is making you anxious about getting into a relationship. That's what you need a strategy about. And it's not just about them doing something. There is definitely a part of what we're doing in it, or what we're willing to do. Queen of Swords says, I need to see clearly, have a different vantage point, and Queen of Swords, boundaries. Boundaries, so important, especially for women. Especially for women, because we've all been taught not to have them as girls. And then take things slowly, especially when you're out there. 3 of Cups. For reunions as well, when someone comes back into your life, be extra careful. But when getting together with people, you have to take it really slowly. Slow things down, because we've got to remain vigilant of ourselves and our patterns and not doing the same thing again. What else? Oh, too many. So I hope Chicken Cat pulls through. She started hanging out in the bathroom again, which means she's really sick. And then her owners came over and said, where is she? And I'm like, I don't know, she was in with me. But the aircon people came. It made a mess of my windows. And they took my aircon apart and they cleaned it all out. They cleaned it all out with a power water thing, and it sprayed my room with filthy water. So my bed, they'd covered it up when they saw that they were doing it. They covered everything up, including my desk and everything, but it already splattered dirty stuff everywhere. So the cleaners have to come in today and sort all of that out. But while they were doing that, they disturbed it because they needed the outlet for the water and all of that from the bathroom, of course. And they disturbed her, and she wasn't happy at all because she was so sick. And then she went and hid outside, and so the owners came round like, where is she? And we went out to find her, and we found her, and she's really not well. They took her to the clinic. It was 2 days ago. Training skin allergies. Shouldn't use any soaps or shower gels. I use a shower oil. I don't react to that at all. It's great. It's like an oil that, it doesn't lather up at all, and it just kind of goes milky when you wash it off. It's really nice. L'Occitane. Yeah, I know. And I'm really careful with what I use like that too. Today when I was doing my hair, afterwards I washed my hands and then put the moisturizer on again. Yeah, I am pretty allergic, and the rash that I get here is because of laundry stuff. So I've ordered some new baby laundry, because the baby laundry that I'm using at the moment irritates me. It's just all very irritating. What have we got here? 5 of Swords. Cold, heartless 5 of Swords. Let's read the 5 of Swords out with this deck. Because isn't this the scariest 5 of Swords ever? She's ripped his heart out. She's looking cold, heartless there. But what do we have to learn from this? Because I know, like a lot of us, we're like, oh, I couldn't possibly have a strategy and not give and take care of my person when I get into a relationship, because I'm like to be a loving and giving person, and it's just in my nature. And it's like, I know, but sometimes you're like tearing your heart out, I think. What does this say? 5 of Swords. On this card, we see a couple after a struggle. The man has lost the fight and turned himself away into the shadows. He's mentally wounded, and his hurt feelings have been mended with 5 scarlet stitches. The woman won the fight and stands in the spotlight. She's wearing a red dress, which symbolizes the drama and emotional conflict the fight was about. In one hand, she holds a fragment of her opponent's wounds. In the other, she holds a large flower, symbolizing her triumph. The flower hides half of her face, indicating that she's not played fair and wanted to win at all cost, no matter how much pain she caused. Whew. Conflict, defeat, self-interest, winning, dishonorability, manipulation, unfair advantage. the reverse of this is acting with integrity, reconciliation, harmony, and compromise. And sometimes we've got to apply that to ourselves, acting with the integrity. Some of us have been just too willing to rip our own hearts out for someone else, or, in other words, to want to give to the other person so much that we don't notice how much we're depleting ourselves. Or, in other words, to not see fairness and receiving for ourselves, like what we need, what we should want from a relationship. And that the thingy, that might be what this conflict is about. So this is really saying, hey ladies, time to really check your side of the fence here. There's something that you're doing, and it's related to your worries about getting into a relationship and what you've experienced before, and you need to have a strategy. You need to see it clearly, what it is that you've been doing, and kind of own that and look for the balance there, and then be conscious of that, and then go slowly into it. Don't use washing. Yeah, I just use liquids. I don't use any softener. I hardly use anything at all. I ordered some washing up liquid for my dishes, some organic, very mild stuff that should be arriving in a few days. And I think I just need to be more conscious of cleaning my hands after using stuff, not just drying them off after I've done the washing up, is actually washing them again and then putting that moisturizer on. A squirrel's just picked one of those ugly lime things, whatever they call kaffir limes. So funny seeing a little squirrel with a massive fruit in its mouth. Three of Swords, there we go. Let's read the Three of Swords out, in fact, as well. It's how we're breaking our own hearts. It's like, you know, it's like that. I've got something in my eye. It's like, it's your finger. Take your finger out of your eye. You got to stop it. It's like, doctor, it hurts when I punch myself. It's like, stop punching yourself. Three of Swords. 3 arrows are hitting a man in the middle of his heart. His heart is represented by a large red rose that stands for the man's love and passion. The arrows, which represent painful words or deeds, have hurt his feelings. His eyes are closed and the streams of tears are running down his face. The attack seems to have happened unexpectedly, because the man wears no protection and his gesture is welcoming rather than defensive. Doesn't that say everything? It's not about a man. Put a woman's face on that. That's about what we do. We welcome it in. This is saying that we're welcoming what hurts us and we're not seeing it. Almost like we think that's our role, to love and nurture, even when we're not getting anything back. Gloves too, Karen. Gloves too. I haven't found any gloves that don't irritate me. If I get washing up gloves, or even like the surgical gloves or anything, what they have inside it, or the actual thing that the gloves is, irritates me. It irritates me as much as the, and when you're washing up, my hands get sweaty in there, and that's the other thing too. Sweat irritates me. So I've got to wash the sweat off, because that is really irritating to my skin. It's like, I just can't win. Yeah, I can't use gloves. I've tried, and ow, even more painful, because it keeps them wet and I've tried all kinds. It's only a little problem now. I don't have much of a problem, but as I said, it was just worrying me a little bit, like it could be like the start of skin cancer, just with the placement of where these reactions are happening, is where most of the sun damage, you can see where most of the sun damage is, right here. So that's why it's been worrying me. But he gave me some like medication like that will stop it itching, and it's like, it's not like I'm itching and that's a real problem. I'm itching, it's itchy a little bit and there's a reaction there, so I want it checking out, you know. Cotton gloves and rubber gloves. Oh, I haven't tried that. Cotton gloves and then rubber gloves. Good idea. Good idea. Anyway, back to this one. I think some of us have been tuned out to what hurts us, and we've been tuned out to what we want from a relationship. We're not feeling it. We're not feeling the imbalances as they're happening because we're just used to it. We're conditioned to that. We're conditioned to giving and then putting up with not getting back our own needs and stuff like that, so much so that we forget what our needs are and we don't even ask for those in the first place, and we'll get ourselves into situations that aren't balanced. So we've been welcoming in that heartbreak. Put them in the box. So, yeah, okay. Really, we've got to be on this now. Let's get some more cards out. Anyone want a mini read? No? Thank you, Karen, for your help. Yeah, I'm pretty much all over it now. I mean, I don't have many reactions. There's this, which flares up when I'm sweaty, and the rubbing action, the laundry stuff here. I used to have like psoriasis all over my hands. I don't have that anymore. I know what to use now to not get that, but I'm still a bit of irritation sometimes. Your daughter is extra sensitive. My friend's daughter is too, down there. You might have seen her in the video that I put out. My vlog video, the one that the little kid that said, "There's Claire," as I was riding past. She's so sweet, that one. She's got really sensitive skin. She ends up in hospital all the time because of it. And I know, you know, because her mum was my old laundry lady, and she said to me, well, I got my washing machine so that I could sort it out myself, kind of thing. And I was talking to her about that, about having my washing machine. She said, yeah, I've got to use the baby stuff with my daughter too, because she reacts to everything. So bad, she ends up in hospital a lot with it. It's me yesterday. Doctor's like, it's not a problem. I'm like, I think it is a problem. I want to get checked properly. And it's like, you're fine, Claire. I don't think I am. Anyway. Oh, Saraswati, 6 of water. Saraswati is about culture. Culture. What culture were you born to that has... You suffer psoriasis too, Maria, and it gets flared up by stress, which I have very little stress now. Perhaps it is psoriasis, but that was stressing me out. I had a stressy day yesterday. 6 of water. Wisdom and culture. The 6 of water speaks of creative expression of feelings and thoughts in a way that helps you understand yourself better and allows you to develop a deeper connection with another person or other people. Right, let's read this. It's not about music and poetry and all of that kind of thing that we say here. It's about listening to our own emotions and being able to communicate those of what it is that we need instead of taking the hit, as we do so well. Relationships of all sorts, emotions, affairs, and questions and longings of the heart, these are all common inspiration for expression. Through the gifts of Saraswati, we can better understand and articulate our uniquely human experiences, what it's like to be us, what it's like to experience the things that we've experienced, what it feels like. We need to know that ourselves, what it feels like, before it turns to resentment. That's the thing that sort of I've seen in myself and I've seen in other women around me, is that we'll put up with this stuff and we numb out. You know, we'll drink wine instead. We numb out to it until we reach a point where we're like sick of it because we're full of resentment about it. We let it go too far and then notice it. Well, why aren't we noticing it before then? And when we notice it before then, because we do, why don't we speak out about it? Why don't we just let it be okay? It's like, this is out of balance and I need some help here, or I need, you know, I feel like I'm not getting anything from this, or whatever it is. I haven't heard of them. Alpha Carey, Hamilton's, Ego, QV. We don't have any of those here. I'll show you what I'm using on my hands now. Because I did have, I was using hand creams and stuff, but I feel like to give those a rest. La Roche-Posay. Look at this, it's so big. Lipicar fluid, soothing, protecting, hydrating fluid. It's massive, you get so much of it, you can use it all over the body, 400 mils, and it wasn't expensive. And so I'm using this on my hands now. I might get another bottle of it and have it at my desk. It's really nice. I put it on my face sometimes. Very nice. So I'm just going to use this for a while because it's so soothing and hydrating. Better than the hand creams. And I use for my face wash, what do you call that? It's one of those basic brands. You do get it in America, other places. Can't remember the name of it. The ones that you find in the drugstore, which we don't have here on this island, but there is on the other island. I'll buy it when I'm there, or online. Yeah, it's really nice, that stuff. So I'm going to use that, keep on using that. So, expressing ourselves. We need to learn how to express ourselves when those feelings come up. How to ask for it, or how to say, I'm feeling this is out of balance. Or at least acknowledging I'm providing all this stuff for you. So for the example, you start dating someone, you start hanging out at your place a lot, and they're coming over for dinner. So you keep on doing that, you keep on cooking for them. Something like that. You could either address it, like start feeling that this is getting imbalanced, and say, it'd be nice, I don't know, I feel like I'm giving a lot and not receiving a lot from you now. It's nice for you to cook, or for us to hang out at your place sometimes, and for you to do this for me, and I also want to feel like I'm looked after in a relationship too, rather than just the one that's looking after, or something like that. I don't know. Up to you what you say, but there's a need for that expression there. Way long before the usual times that we express it. Usually we let it build it up to the point where it's intolerable, and blow up at them like, you should have noticed this. Should they have noticed it, or should you have spoken up beforehand? The Four of Air. QV, I haven't heard of QV. Four of Air. Way back when I used to have a shop, and I was doing massage and readings and healings and neurotherapy. My psoriasis was terrible, the massage. I used pure coconut oil for the massages, but people would have sunscreen on their skin and then start massaging them, and my hands would be like, rah, like they're on fire as soon as it mixed with the shit that they got on their body. Holy crap. That's how sensitive I am. Touch someone. Well, it's a bit different when you're massaging, you do more than touching them, but yikes. So, wow, so painful. I ended up in hospital then with like my palms covered in red bumps, psoriasis bumps. So painful. Forever. Anyway, enough about psoriasis. I don't get it much anymore at all. I'm pretty much on top of it now. Four of Air is omens. So we see the signs, right, let's read this out then. Omens, the signs that this is coming on. that whatever imbalance that we've been putting up with, these are the signs. Noticing the signs. Omens are a really interesting way. I just stood up before. Omens are a really interesting way for the divine to communicate with us. Omens are simple things that occur in everyday life, but somehow significant. Some are common omens, sometimes called superstitions, such as one we see in the card image of a black cat crossing someone's path. These types of omens are not always accepted or recognized by practicing witches. Like white feathers. What are the omens that you see? The common ones. We're more likely to pay attention to signals, animals, words, images, or situations that both happen a certain number of times in a short period of time or have intensely personal significance to the recipient. Most often omens are received unbidden. That is, we don't ask for an omen to occur. Usually it's a way the universe has of getting our attention and helping us know we're on the right path. Interesting. So I wonder if we do ask for those signs. You know, if we're just too accustomed and trained in our cultures to ignore these things, ignore these imbalances, and just slip right into that doormat role kind of thing. If we can get signs, well, there are signs because we feel it in ourselves, and it's good to know ourselves and to. But I wonder if we can get like the universe's help on that, you know, a signal that we're doing it again. Usually it's the way that the universe has of getting our attention and helping us know we're on the right path. Many think of this as synchronicity. For example, multiple sightings of a certain type of bird or animal can convey a message to the viewer. Have you ever noticed previously of getting into relationships and then the magic stopping, the signs stopping as you get out of the flow? I've noticed that. Not every time, but sometimes, yeah. So it could be that, lack of omens coming up. Omens can be considered as a friendly and helpful smack over the head with a baseball bat. Great. I would say that's more what a tower moment is, right? Utilising omens does not take much effort on our part. We usually don't even need to be paying particular attention, as omens are often glaring and obviously unusual. However, the wise witch will always keep a watchful eye on her environment. The Four of Arrows is a sign that the answer is right in front of our eyes. It's an affirmation by the universe regarding a course of action or situation. It's the thing that you're scared of. It's the thing, the resistance that you have to get into a relationship is what it is. It's right there. It's your first reason why you don't want to. But we need to learn how to express it, how to say it, how to communicate that. Relationships, you've got to express your needs and stuff like that. You've got to. My nails have changed colours, warming up in here. Purple at the end, pink in the nails. I love this nail varnish. Gel. Must be 27 degrees now. No, it's still 26. Because the sun's shining on that window now. What have we got here? The Mother of Air, communication. We need to learn how to communicate. Are there any teachers out there speaking about this stuff? Are there any like great female, this is how you communicate within a relationship about your needs? I haven't really noticed any, but they're probably out there. Someone's got to be teaching that stuff now. There's many a teacher on this train now, and we're all kind of talking about the same stuff. So I'm sure there'll be relationship experts out there teaching this stuff. The Mother of Air, I'll try and find some today. Well, maybe not today because I've got to work today, but maybe tomorrow, weekend. The Mother of Air, she writes books, creates language, she builds bridges with words and ideas. She builds bridges with words and ideas. So it's not about accusations like, you're not doing enough. That's when it's got to the resentment stage. It's building bridges with it. There's a way to approach it. Oh, we need to learn it. communicate effectively. Because you got incoming. See, that's what the Lenormand card said, right? Is that because someone's got their eye on you and think that you're a catch. And that's a good thing, but you got to navigate this and have a strategy. Someone coming in with a love offer, and we've got to prepare ourselves to do this time and not do what we used to do before and go into those bad patterns. The Maiden of Water, being playful and fun. That's how we want to be in relationships, right? But we also need to check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. Check ourselves before we wreck it. Because we can. I was in a perfectly balanced relationship and I wrecked it. I wrecked it by, but it wouldn't have lasted anyway. I see that for different reasons, but I did wreck the dynamics in it. I just became the one that was earning all the money and doing everything. I did that, and instead of addressing it along the way, instead of being balanced along the way. So it went from him in his place, doing a lot, and me being the recipient, to me doing everything, him being the recipient, and instead of finding that balance, carrying on with that, so it got to the point of resentment. Craziness. Divine Masculine. What about the Divine Masculine then? Ooh, Mars wants to take action, so he does want to do something. And men too, when we do take all the wind out, we take all the wind out of the sails when we do stuff like that too. It's like, no, you don't need to do anything, I've got it all. And then they feel like they've got no role to play. And then we turn around to them and say, you're not doing anything. They're like, they do want to take action, they want to offer a lot. We take the roles away from them, you see? When we will do it all. I think there's a need here to recognize what you want from relationships, what you want from the Divine Masculine. Get really clear on that, and then allow them to do it, and then stop yourself from doing those things so that they don't have anything to provide. That's what this is saying. So a big lesson for the Divine Feminine this time. Let's get some cards out for where Divine Masculine and where Divine Feminine is at, just to be nosy. Which cards? These cards. These ones. Divine Masculine. What a mess. Oh, Starborn, emerging, ready. Emerging readiness and the kiss. Someone's going to be making a move here. To be honest, it doesn't feel like the same energy as what I was picking up before for the Divine Masculine. Alethea. I'm going to have to look Alethea up because I don't know what it is. E-I-A. Meaning truth. Speak the truth. Speak the truth. What's Alethea, the goddess of? Truth. To personify truth, revealing the whole truth. Oh. The state of not being hidden, the state of being evident. Oh, revealing himself. There you go. Revealing himself and speaking the truth. Someone is coming out here. There's incoming for sure. I had a bit of an encounter the other day. Someone that I've been talking to on Tinder. I met him in real life. I don't know whether he knew that it was me. I don't know if he'd reconciled. I realised it's just a bit of an interaction, a bit of flirting going on. saw him again yesterday. But I was flying past on my bike. The box. So the box is about labels put on self, constriction, the unseen, hidden yet, hidden, but revealing. I feel like this is a masculine that wants to reveal themselves, the healer, and sort things out too. Perhaps. Right, something unseen. So this is saying like the masculine is also having trouble with himself right now, with labels and stuff, and who he should be, and all of that. But wanting to reveal the truth here. Come out. Reveal the truth with romantic intent. But the unseen, something holding back, something still needing to be healed before he does that, I think. And himself, something about the labels, the boxes that he puts himself in, you know. The shoulds. Divine Feminine. Where's Divine Feminine at? Unconditional love. No, not the best sign for the Divine Feminine. Said it before and I'll say it again. Unconditional love. Save it for the children. It's not appropriate in romantic relationships, unconditional love. Especially not at the start. Maybe if you've been with them 20 years, but not at the start. Hell no. Save it for the children. Kairos. Another one that I've got to look up. Is Kairos the divine timing one? Yeah. It's the divine timing card. The right, crucial, critical, opportune moment. It's right timing. Okay. So Divine Feminine's ready. But she's ready with unconditional love. Oh no. Too good at that, some of us. The sword. Cutting out the darkness. So perhaps dealing with some kind of fears or darkness in self at the moment. Anxiety perhaps. Mystic, tuning in intuitively. Father. That's a nice sign because there's father energy. Doesn't have to be about actual fatherhood, but it's about a masculine that will take care. It's got something to offer that will take care. It's got those things about them. The Bardo, a lot of transformation going on for the Divine Feminine. The Bardo being the character that often seen as the Grim Reaper that takes us from one world to the other, takes us in that boat across the lake. But it's big transformation, the Bardo. In fact, yeah, let me have a look at that, the Bardo. Bardo meaning death and rebirth. What's the concept of Bardo? It's a state of existence intermediate between two lives on earth. Oh, the in-between worlds. Yeah, that's what it is. It's the in-between worlds. After death and before one's next birth. So the Divine Feminine is in the in-between right now. Preparing herself for her new life. Six stages of Bardo. Oh, the six Bardos are the Bardo of this life or birth, the Bardo of dream, the Bardo of meditation, the Bardo of dying, the Bardo of Dharmata or reality, and the Bardo of existence or becoming. Buddhist. There's a lot of Buddhist stuff about Bardo. I didn't realize that. Okay, so in between worlds right now, the Divine Feminine getting ready for a new life. This is why we're being asked to make sure that we look at our patterns and get conscious of it. So probably something that you've already looked into before, I would say. change is coming, but we create that change by being ready for it. And we've got to be ready to do things differently, like really ready to do things differently, like having learned what it is to say. You know, it's like I did the same in business, you know. It's in business you kind of need to, especially as women, being the unconditional lovers that we are, we find it hard in business to ask for payments and to be straight up with people about, especially about payments, right? So I did a course to learn that, to learn what to say, to learn how to have boundaries around that, and just to learn to be just straight up with people about it. Especially of asks and things like that, there will be a lot of people asking for freebies. I don't know why. Not a lot of people will go into a shop and ask for something for free, or go into a restaurant and ask for something for free, but they will come to someone like me and ask for something for free. And to be able to deal with stuff like that requires certain words, you know what I mean, to learn, like I'm happy with the amount of charity work that I do, and you know, the amount of giving that I do, or you know, whatever it is that you want to say. There's all different kinds of ways of dealing with stuff like that, and just to learn that kind of thing. That's what I'm getting, is that there's a way to communicate within relationships about our needs being met that needs to be learned so that we can do things differently. And that's what we should be about at the moment. So there you go, that's what I've got for you. Today is How Do They Feel About Your Friday, so I'll be recording a pick a card read and putting that out later today, so check that out on my YouTube channel. Don't forget to click like on this video, click on that subscribe button. Remember, any comments, apart from the live comments in here, they don't count apparently, because I can't see them after the event. But comments on my videos, to win one of those private readings with me as well, which will be drawn at the end of the month. So keep on doing that on my channel. Thanks everyone for doing that too. And what else? That's it. Check out my new YouTube channel, which is this one, at Claire Louise Hay, all about fitness and lifestyle, and there's vlogs and stuff like that. You might find that interesting. Thank you, Mandy. Always nice to see you here. Have a good weekend, everybody. Hope you have a really good one, and I'll see you all on Monday. Let's do this again in 3 days' time. Bye. Any mini reads that are booked now will be done in Monday's show, by the way. Bye.